So there's a few things March Madness literally never fails to do. One of them is to feature Cinderella teams that absolutely embarrass our brackets. It's a guarantee. But it also never fails to shine a light on some underrated players. There are countless examples in the past, and right now, Max Amos is basically the face of the underrated players beginning to receive some shine, and deservedly so. The whole Oral Roberts team is on a mission, but the team they just eliminated features another guy who played well in the tournament in Mann, who is a 6'5" combo guard that can really score the ball. And Trey has been playing at a high level all year, but doing it on the brightest stage in college, which is of course March Madness, just gave him all the exposure he needs to impress scouts. In the 2 games Florida got to play, Mann was a force on offense. He's easily one of the smoothest scorers in the NCAA, and I believe he played his way into being a lock for the first round in the upcoming NBA draft, which is far from a reach if you've been watching the tournament. Right now, ESPN already projects him over bigger names like Greg Brown and even Ayo Dosunmu. So yeah man, today we're talking about his play in March and just highlighting a great player that had a much smaller role as a freshman. It's kinda crazy. But before I go any further, what's up YouTube, Plug Speaks, back with a vid. If you are new, first of all, welcome, go ahead and subscribe. Also like the vid if you enjoy. I drop bangers 3 to 4 times a week, and we're grinding for 5K, so I'd for sure appreciate it. And I'm dropping a lot of March Madness content, but back to the vid though. So like I said, Mann has been one of the best players in March Madness. Now in the first round he dropped just 14 points, 4 assists and 3 rebounds, but they were allowed 14 points as he hit 2 big threes as the game winded down. And then he kept this going against a very hot Oral Roberts team that basically the whole nation has been rooting for ever since their huge upset against Ohio State. But yeah, in the second round, Trey went off for 19 points, 4 assists and 7 rebounds in a loss as Florida was eliminated. But I believe he showed enough. And he low-key didn't even need March Madness. This was just the icing on the cake, because the whole year has been a breakout season for him, while last year, all this talent was spent on the bench. As a freshman, he started in just 4 games out of 29 and averaged 18 minutes. And so as a result, his overall numbers were far from impressive. Anyone could look at them and would probably assume he deserves to come off the bench. But this season has revealed he really just wasn't getting enough opportunity. And if you look at the guy that was starting over him, who now plays for Gonzaga, it doesn't even make sense. And of course he's not a scrub, but he's in no way better than Mann. They're honestly lucky Trey did not transfer, because Trey is looking like the best guard Florida will bring to the NBA ever since Bradley Beal in 2012, and that's saying a lot. I'm not even reaching. But yeah, as far as overall numbers, in his 24 games played this year, Trey has put up 16 points, 4 assists and 6 rebounds on 46% from the field and 40% from 3, which is already amazing. But when you realize he does this on just 12 shots a game, it's even more impressive. When watching him play, it's so obvious he could be a 20+ scorer if he just took more shots. And I won't lie and say I've been watching Florida all year, because I haven't. I only knew of Mann because I keep up with NBA prospects, but I've seen enough. Trey is so dangerous because if the defense does not grant him the proper attention, which is at least a double team, he will go off for a large amount of points. His 3-point percentage of 40% is on 5 attempts a game, and they come from everywhere. He can shoot from deep, off the dribble with a smooth step back like he's done plenty of times, or even off the catch and shoot for a spot up 3. And his catch and shoot ability especially cannot be ignored. He is always on the move and relocating, which is what every defender fears and just wants to avoid since it's just such a hassle. But beyond his shooting, Mann may not be the most athletic player out there, but he is 6'5" with a nice handle that helps to get past defenders in one-on-one situations. His go-tos are floaters and crafty layups that are just a problem for his defenders. And then playmaking is yet another thing he is skilled at, which will probably be the main reason he gets taken high in the draft. I mean, A 6'5" point guard is great height for that position, and Trae actively looks for his teammates in each and every game. Don't let his assist average deceive you. He doesn't take 12 shots a game for fun or for absolutely no reason. He's just that unselfish. Just simple things like setting screens to get another player open or passing up a good shot for a great one goes to show his unselfishness. Honestly, the only knock against his ability to play make would probably be his 3 turnovers a game, but that's one of those things that improve with experience. So yeah, basically, Trae Mann is the whole package on offense, and what's crazy is that we haven't even really seen much yet. I still want to know how much he could dominate if he were taking 15 or 18 shots a game the way he honestly should be, but yeah. Now as far as defense, just like most great scorers, Trae is not a huge presence. Now he does show effort and he's even pretty active. He averages 1 steal a game, but with his size, he could for sure do better on that side of the floor. But yeah, overall, there's just a lot Trae can bring to a team, and if he gets taken where he's projected to go, which is around the 15th to 20th pick range, there is a high chance he ends up being a draft steal, because there's way too many examples where players wound up being way better than people thought they would be, simply because they didn't get to show much off in college. For instance, Devin Booker at Kentucky. Based on his numbers, you wouldn't think he'd be at the level he is now. He went from barely putting up double-digit points as a Wildcat to dropping 70 in the NBA in just his 2nd year. But based on his actual play at Kentucky, it all makes sense. Even back then, Devin Booker looked like a natural scorer. And so basically the same can be said about Trae Mann and his career at Florida. I mean, the situations aren't completely the same because Devin Booker was not the first option at Kentucky, but the main point still stands. Trae could show a lot more in the league, and it's always good to see players actually trust the process, because Trae Mann declared for last year's draft even after a disappointing season, but then he withdrew after being absent on most draft boards, and the fact that he declared in the first place could be seen as dumb, but it really shows his confidence. He knew what he showed as a freshman was a poor indication of his true abilities as a player, and he showed why in a big way in his sophomore season. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Sort of a short vid. Y'all let me know where you think Trae Mann will go in the draft, how you feel about his game, all of that. And yeah, I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to like this up, share it, sub if new, all of that. It's all much appreciated, and I'm out.